How does one become a Sufi? Great question. I guess where we begin with is what is Sufism? What does Sufi mean? Then the word Sufi is several. They don't exactly know what specific word they're referring to, so it could be a few different things. It could be Suf, which means wool. Suf, which means wool. The early practitioners of the Sufi way wore coarse woolen garments. So that's one possibility. The other Safa, which means pure. The Ahl Safa, the people of the pure way. And then Sophia, right, which is the Greek. So Sophia means pure, I think, wisdom, right? So these are derivations that could possibly. No one exactly knows what the word Sufi means, but to be a Sufi is traveling a path of pure wisdom, and that pure wisdom in the umbrella of Sufism, specifically the practice of Sufism, is Islam. Islam being the science of surrender. How do we surrender to reality itself so that we may become wise? So if you surrender to reality, instead of bringing up my own illusion and my own preconceived ideas, I leave all of that out and I surrender to reality itself. This is the path of wisdom. So if we're surrendering to reality and we want to come to know, then we'll have a certain amount of trust developed that reality itself is seeking me. I am seeking reality, but reality itself is seeking me. So in this sense, how to be a Sufi is first to become aware of what Sufism is, and the end result of where we want to get to is a place of wisdom. So there's a series of events that one can do in their daily practice, in their life practice, and that is an outward aspect and an inward aspect. The outward aspect is going to be certain levels of understood morality. So we get to a place of wisdom by treating people well, by expecting people to treat us well, by taking care of people who are less fortunate than us, and when we are in need, we ask for help and that help comes. These are basic fundamental principles of life, and these are usually formulated into something we would call a religious practice. But beyond that religion, we want to get to a direct tasting and a direct experience of wisdom itself. And so setting about getting the mindset to the end goal is the beginning of the Sufi practice. And then once you set yourself on that journey, the trust that you are gaining will lead you to people who can help you along the way. When you're in need, someone will come and help you. So if you're in need of a very deep spiritual direction, and you have a block, you have some type of obstruction in front of you, then you seek someone who will help you get around that obstruction. And so usually someone comes along, or you'll find someone that can tell you, well, if you go up this way and around that way, and then you'll get back to the main road. And that person knows how to get you around the obstruction and further on down the road of your goal, which is wisdom. So usually that person is going to know the whole road. Like if you want to go from here to there, not only are they going to understand this obstruction, but they're going to know a few obstructions along the way that they can tell you about as well. So when you have a guide that can take you and tell you how to proceed, where to go, how to proceed, what to pack, where to stay along the way, then your chances of getting to the ultimate destination of wisdom is easier. And it's not absolutely necessary, but it's way easier and quicker than if you just set out on your own and tried to find your own way. So if you have the benefit of someone guiding you, that is an obvious benefit to your travels. So taking a guide and accepting a guide's judgment is also part of the whole journey. So one would say that when you take a guide and they're responsible for getting you from here to there, then you're on the Sufi path. I would argue that the entire process is the Sufi path, is the pure way to wisdom. And that many people are Sufi without even knowing it. It's like, it's a reality that we're putting a word on. And sometimes Sufism, in certain times of history, Sufism was a word without a concept, or it was a concept without a word. So we have to be aware that these things it's a tricky path, and that if we can find a reliable guide, that's part of being on the path. But it's not the whole path. The guide's not going to pick you up and carry you to your destination. The guide's going to tell you how to do, what to pack, what to watch out for, and send you on your way. But it's up to you to actually do the walking and the traveling. So I would argue that Sufis, as soon as you have set your intention to come to know wisdom, you are now on the Sufi path. Whether or not you're going to call yourself a Sufi is up to you.